So on the short balls, so I've got one queued up here. This was the one you may or may not remember. After hitting this shot, you yelled out, "Story of my life." On this particular shot, you hit it into the net. I'm curious, in real life play, what's the ratio between shots that you hit into the net and shots that you hit too far?
80-20, 90-10, tarp or long.
Really? Because I literally just scrubbed through all our points.
Oh, they're mostly net?
Today you hit them all in the net.
Yeah.
So I was curious.
I'm trying to flatten them a lot. Because
Okay.
I'll hit through the flatter because I used to hit them long.
Well, I'm going to give you the solution, but I want to first show you what is not the solution.
Okay.
What I don't want you to do as the solution is this: when you get a short ball, especially if it's coming up at waist height, it's just kind of, and it's like, you missed this one anyway. So it's like, for me personally, like if you have a objective of improving your play, be more competitive against 4-0 players, it's possible to hit a good enough slice. But at this height, I won't call that waist height, but it's pretty close. Unless it's knee height or below, you should be hitting it confidently with topspin. And that's going to be the way you progress. It's not going to be by getting a better slice. It's going to be by expanding the range of different shots that you can confidently hit with authority. Are you familiar with the phrase I use a lot for technique? So, you have any idea how long the ball is on the strings for on an average tennis shot?
Hundredth or tenth of a second?
It depends on exactly like how loose are the strings, like how fast is the ball moving, stuff like that. But it's anywhere between 2 and 4 thousandths of a second. So in that tiny, tiny split second, wherever the strings are facing, that is the trajectory that the ball will start on. So send means like that's the beginning trajectory of the shot. And then whatever the racket is doing as the ball touches the strings, that's what spins the ball and then gives the ball additional shape or curve on the way to its ultimate destination. So, does this ball, after you hit it, so you're hitting this shoulder height, which the height of your shoulder is well above the height of the net. After the ball comes off your racket, does it ever really stay above the height of the net, or does it go directly to the net?
Going down.
So, is more bend going to fix this shot? If we spin the ball more, what does topspin do to the ball?
Bring it down.
That's right. So we hit more topspin. Are we going to clear the net, or is it going to go into the net more?
It's a good net.
Right. So assuming we keep it a topspin shot, is more spin going to help us get this over the net?
No.
So what does that leave us with?
Opening your face up.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
So the cause and effect here is critical. If you don't understand the inputs and the outputs, and you're just kind of grabbing at random, like, oh, somebody told me once I need to like keep my head down, or like bend my knees, or I need to brush like the back of the ball, and it doesn't actually align with what the cause was why you missed it, it's just all random. Like, you're gonna make some, you're gonna miss some, and
That's how I feel.
there's never any building of like positive result.
Okay. Yeah, I'm feeling tense just looking at it. This is the one that's
So we're gonna take like a half an hour here, and by the end of it, you will know the answer. You might have to like process it, but you're gonna come to the right answer.
Okay.
And with practice, you'll get to it faster and faster. And then there's not gonna be any guessing anymore. You're just gonna give yourself the right prompt and go out and do it better the next time. And then you can build some success.
All right.
Does that feel better?
Yes.
All right. Ready? That's nice. And now I'd like you to hit that same exact ball into the bottom of the net.
Okay.
Pretty good. We'll take that. Now I'd like you to take that same ball. I want you to hit the back curtain. Oh, nice. All right, we'll use that. We'll use that. All right, come on over here. Nice job. So first of all, like on command, you hit the Goldilocks one, you hit the net, and then you hit, I mean, that was, might not have hit the back curtain, but it was like way long. It was like 10 feet long. So right off the bat, I'm a little skeptical that you don't know like how, I feel like maybe you've been wrapped up in like the emotional like frustration of this shot, because you have a lot of tools at your disposal, and it might be more so like emotional training of like, I can hit this shot, I will hit this shot, and you're gonna miss it sometimes too, and that's okay. What we're really gonna arm you with that's new now is the knowledge of when I miss it here, I'm gonna change A. Yeah. And when I miss it there, I'm gonna change B. So here's the swing path. Remember, path bends it. So we have about this angle here on this one. And this one went into the middle of the net. So on this one, you kind of came up and leveled out. And on this one, you had a more direct path upwards towards contact. So on the right, we have a little bit steeper ascent, and on the left, you ended up flattening out a little bit right before the hit. Yeah. So the one on the right has more lift or upward hit, and that's going to give the ball more spin. The one on the left is going to be flatter because you're coming more straight. So this is going to be a more flat, direct shot. The bigger thing, though, is look at the angle of your racket face here, and look at the angle of your racket face here.
It's more straight. I'm close to, yeah.
So remember, the face sends it. So this shot is going to travel, and we can just look at it. This ball has a little bit of curve or bend to it, that direction. And this ball is immediately going down off your racket. You see relative to the curtain line back there? So the ball starts above the line of that curtain back there and immediately breaks that line and starts traveling downwards. And it's because of that racket face sending the ball in that direction. So the one on the right, we have some positive arc or loop to it because of the combination of more vertical path and a flatter, that's not the right word, a more square racket face. The one on the left, the racket face is more closed and your swing path is more straight. So the combination of those two things is going to send the ball just directly into the net. So when you hit the net from this position, if the ball goes directly to the net, like it did on this one, what is the fix going to be?
Oh, just opening up the face. Yeah.
Yep. So now let's look at one. This is the Goldilocks shot on the left. And this is the one that you hit. It would have been like the bottom of the curtain. So let's look at the path first. Is the swing path going upwards, straight, or downwards?
Upwards.
So is there going to be topspin on this shot, or is it going to be flat?
Should be a lot of topspin.
Yeah, there should. So now let's talk about the angle of the face.
Oh, well, yeah, actually, it's.
Wow, it's really close.
Pretty close, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Might be because I hit it harder. I don't know.
Here's the angle of your face on the Goldilocks shot. Can you see the number there?
Yes, 87.
Here's the angle of the face on. So watch the trajectory of the shot on the right. This is the Goldilocks shot. It's got a little bit of lift to it. So the ball is coming up gently off of contact, even though the racket face is slightly closed. And that's because all that upward energy, while the face is the primary thing that sets the trajectory, that vertical lift of the racket does influence the ball. It's just not nearly as much as the angle of the face. So we are creating lift with the racket, which is why the ball has a little bit of upward arc to it. And then that arc is going to continue on the other side of the court. Meanwhile, with a slightly open, it's really close to square. But look at how vertical your ascent is up towards the ball, number one. And with a slightly open face and that much acceleration, I want you to watch the path of the ball now.
Oh, it's still going up.
Still going up. Still going up. Still going up. You get the idea. And you probably hit that at like 70 miles an hour. So it's like most of the way to the net now, and it's still going up. And right now, the ball is probably like 4 feet over the top of the net. So this trajectory, even though it has spin, with the ball continuing to rise, there's not enough space for it to stay inside the court. This one was just right. With a closed racket face and an upward path, that's the magic combination. So when you clear the net and it keeps going too far, what adjustment are you going to make?
Close the face.
That's right.
Yeah.
So here's what we're going to do. You're going to get that same feed again.
Okay.
You're going to make a confident swing. If you make it, great. If you miss it, you're going to explain to me why.
Okay.
Right?
Pressure. All right. All right, good.
Ready? Here we go. Let's go for a solid shot. That's Goldilocks. Good clearance, good curve, good confident swing. You checked all the boxes. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't hit it. What adjustment are we going to make? The shot you just missed.
More face. Open face slightly.
Okay? No problem. So what's question one? Where did it go? Question two, did it curve?
It curved.
So what do we have to do?
Close the face.
Yeah, by how much?
Degree and a half to maybe. Okay.
Maybe 2 or 3. Yeah. Ready? Oh, good. Let's compare those two. Nice job. So notice there was a double adjustment. We hit the net.
Yeah.
You made the correct adjustment, but a little bit too far, and then you met in the middle. That's great.
Yeah.
That's the process. It's just like repetition and dialing it in. And so each time you made the correct adjustment, the first time you just turned the dial a little bit too far. So on the right is the one that you hit too far. That was the first adjustment. We decided that it did have curve, and it has to because of how low below the ball your racket's dropping. Still surprised by that, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a 3-foot, drop for sure. So lots of upward acceleration. So let's check the face. Right about square.
Yeah.
It's like right at 90 degrees.
Yeah.
So for how much you're accelerating and for how vertical your racket path is, we need it more closed than this, or it's going to travel too far. This is the one you just hit.
This is what I see more, the one on the right, in actual play. When I was practicing with you, it was in the net, but okay.
So look at the angle here. This next frame is actually a little bit after contact, and it's hitting the top of your racket, which is torquing it a little bit. So this is a more accurate representation here of the angle of your racket. That's the difference. It's crazy, huh? I mean, it's not a big change, but because of the force being exerted by your racket, a couple of degrees here and there changes where the ball goes by 15, 20 feet, 10 or 15 feet, depending on how fast we're accelerating. It's a small change. So A, you're not allowed to be disgruntled at yourself for missing it the first time. Where you're allowed to be angry is if you miss it in the same place 2 or 3 or 4 times in a row. Then you should probably be frustrated at yourself, because by then you should have made the correct adjustment. One miss, Federer has to deal with that.
Yeah.
Serena, has to deal with that. We just don't want to make the same mistake again and again.
Okay.
And now, hopefully, you're starting to understand, like, specifically how to adjust it.